It had been a while since the Great Tournament of Power, which endangered the lives of the universes, where thanks to the almost perfect coordination of Universe 7, they were able to win the Tournament of Power, thus reviving all the universes. Months after that event, the gods would have had a meeting, something that they only did in situations of great importance, and no doubt, after all that had happened, this was definitely it. The 12 gods of destruction had seen that the existence of all the universes fell on a mortal who had too much influence on the decisions of the king of all, Xeno-sama. Besides, he had reminded Xeno-sama about the tournament. Therefore, someone who only made stupid decisions just because he wanted to fight was something that the gods could not continue to allow. Someone like Goku was too much danger for everyone, because at any moment, something like that or worse could happen. Vermouth would tell the others, the Saiyan god Goku, he only wanted the tournament to face very strong beings, but when he saw what he had done, it was too late to repent. He's a danger to everyone. We saw how this mortal is very friendly with Xeno-sama. Anything stupid or not, Xeno-sama will listen to him. Hey, and what do you mean by that, Vermouth? Are you saying we should kill him? That would be too noisy, we can't do that. Immediately, Xeno-sama or Daishinkan would stop feeling Goku's ki, and they would surely come to see what was going on. I don't think we should do that. I think something much better. If we lock him up somewhere, a dimension, a place he can never come out of, we could surely do it. Bills, surprised by those words, even though he appreciated Goku, he thought it was right what the other gods told him, because he perfectly understood the danger that Goku meant for all the universes. And that's why he told them. Once they had told me on Earth there was a room of time, as I had understood that place was another dimension, and that there's only one door that serves as a portal to pass from one side to another. Surely we could get him to go train there, and it would be a perfect opportunity to lock him up. It seems easy, but it'll still be complicated. The gods thought it was a brilliant and excellent idea, so everyone accepted this idea and trusted everything to Bills. Some time would pass, and Bills would go to visit the Earth, first going to Vegeta, and he told him that he had to tell him something important. Both go to another place where nobody would hear, because Piccolo was near and could easily have heard this. So once they were alone, Bills told him, Vegeta, you must do what I'm going to tell you. You have to understand, Goku is a living danger to all universes, and that's why we have to get rid of him. Wait, Bills, what are you talking about? How the hell do you think you're going to get rid of Kakarot? Don't you appreciate him? Vegeta, this goes beyond sentiment or appreciation. We're talking about the universes. I only ask you to help Goku enter the room of time. We have to lock him inside and destroy the door so that he never comes out again, and we can avoid so many problems in the future. What are you talking about, Bills? I won't do that to Kakarot. Despite all the fights, he's my friend, and I don't have to do it. Damn, Vegeta, I knew you would say this. That's why you decide. Sacrifice the planet or lock Goku inside. Do you want to die and take your whole family with you? No, Bills, why are you doing this to me? I could not do that to Kakarot. But I'm obliged to do it. If not, you'll destroy everything. Besides, I think I understand everything, and you are right in what you mentioned about Goku. I'll do my best to lock him in that room. At that moment, Bills would go to his planet, and Vegeta would tell everything to Bulma and everyone else, except Chi-Chi, Gohan, and Goten. None of his friends agreed to lock Goku up, but they finally convinced them. It was either the planet would be destroyed, or Goku had to be locked up. It was clear that the planet was the priority. Plus, they knew that Goku was nothing but trouble. After everyone acknowledged it, Vegeta would go to Goku and tell him to train in the hyperbolic time chamber. But Goku had already trained a lot and would tell Vegeta he did not feel like going to that place, because he already felt comfortable and confident with his power. So Vegeta told him he has not yet managed to control and master the egoistic doctrine. So Goku would tell him that it would not be necessary, but Vegeta reminded him that enemies could appear much stronger than Jiren, and that they haven't seen the strongest and had to be prepared for new threats. After Goku heard those words, he would go with Vegeta to the hyperbolic time chamber, where both would enter to train. The two would be training, thanks to the fact that they had to become much stronger, as Vegeta told Goku, so that they would continue for a long time. But as the months passed inside the room, Vegeta would tell Goku that he would go out for a few moments, but then he would return. Goku would say that he would wait until he returned to continue training, but this was nothing more than a lie from Vegeta to finally leave Goku alone in the room. So he would leave the place, and at the moment of leaving, he would destroy the entrance of the Room of Time with a blast of energy, making the small point that interconnected them disappear. Which would make Goku get locked inside the room. Goku would not notice this, as he was far away from the entrance practicing one of his techniques. But he saw that for some reason, Vegeta was taking longer than he should. Goku would understand that something was not right, but he left it like that, until much more time passed and Vegeta still did not return, thus piquing Goku's curiosity. So he went to the entrance of the room to go out and look for Vegeta, but at that moment, he realized that something was very wrong. Realizing that the door was completely destroyed, and that made it impossible to leave the place. Goku at no time would the thought cross his mind that it was Vegeta, but nevertheless believed that it was himself that did it, by some oversight while he was practicing. But after much thought, he realized he had not done it at any time, because he would have realized. So he had no choice but to believe that this was an act of Vegeta. While outside the room, Vegeta said, "It cost me to do it, but I was finally able to lock him up. I hope he doesn't hate me for doing this to him. You did very well, Vegeta. You were able to save this planet, and that's the most important thing." On the other hand, in the room, Goku was still confused and thought to himself, "Vegeta, why would you do that to me? Why lock me in this damn place? So you just told me all this to lock me up? I swear I will get revenge." Goku realized Vegeta's betrayal, locking him inside the hyperbolic time chamber, and Goku got angry because he didn't understand the reason. "Why did you do this to me, Vegeta? Why did you do it? I don't understand." "No, wait, I don't think Vegeta did it by himself. He'd have no reason to do it. A lot of people don't seem to like him, but knowing Vegeta, they had to have blackmailed him with something. I don't know, but they'll all pay for this if I ever get out of this damn place. What reason did they have to do this to me? I've given everything for them. I've sacrificed myself many times to save them. I have always fought to save them. It's not fair. I gave them everything and they stabbed me in the back. They had no right to betray me this way. When I get out of this place, they'll wish they had never locked me up." After this, months would pass in which Goku was just beginning to master the Ultra Instinct. By this time, the food supplies were starting to run low, and there was only enough left for 2 days. Goku knew he would have to leave or he would die. "I have to do it. I will increase all my power to get out of this place. I think with all the power I have, it'll be enough to open other portals." That said, Goku would increase his power more and more, starting with the classic Saiyan, until reaching the blue phase, and finally making his technique more powerful. So he would do the maximum Kaioken as far as he could, making the whole place tremble. The whole place seemed to crack, but this was nothing more than an illusion. The place was intact, and not even the slightest hint of a portal was formed. Goku was surprised and frustrated and thought, "How is it possible that nothing happened? With all the power I used, it was much more than I thought I needed to get out of this place. But why, even using all my power, is nothing happening? I don't understand. A long time ago, Majin Buu did the same thing and was able to get out of this damn place, and that power he had is much lower than the one I have now. It's impossible that nothing happened. Wait, now I remember. He told me he improved the Room of Time, but I didn't think it was this much better. Even using divine power, I'm not able to make a scratch on this room. Damn," Goku said to himself, extremely frustrated. Meanwhile, outside the hyperbolic time chamber, Chi-Chi would have started looking for Goku, as Goku didn't appear in a long time, which was too weird for her. Gohan and Goten tried to search for his ki, but it was impossible. This made them believe that Goku had died, since they couldn't feel his ki as always. But suddenly, Kaio-sama would contact Gohan, and he would tell him that Goku had been locked inside the hyperbolic time chamber, and that it was impossible for him to get out of that place, since he had already tried in every way. Gohan was speechless and asked Kaio-sama, "Tell me who did it and why. Please tell me." Kaio-sama refused to provide this information to Gohan, as he also did not want to harm those involved. Plus, Beerus might find out about what Kaio-sama did and retaliate against him. "Gohan, the only thing I can tell you is that you have to do something so that your father can survive in that place for as long as necessary. I trust you will find a solution, but don't let your father die in that place." "I'll save him. Thanks for the heads up, Kaio-sama. I owe you one." After the conversation was over, Gohan told Chi-Chi and Goten everything. Goten reminded his brother Gohan about the Dragon Balls, so that he could use them to wish for his father to live forever. "That's what we'll do, Goten. I was planning to do that too." They would go in search of the Dragon Balls, but they would realize that Bulma had already collected them again, so they asked Bulma if she could please lend them the Dragon Balls to ask for a wish. Gohan didn't know that Bulma was involved in all of this. Bulma refused to lend them, but Bulma got distracted and Goten took them from her. They went to another place to summon Shenlong with the balls. They summoned the dragon and it appeared, asking, "Tell me what your wish is." Gohan came up with a better idea and asked Shenlong to make Goku appear in that place. But Shenlong would tell him that it was impossible because he was out of his limits, since he was basically in another dimension. So, Gohan opted for the second option, and he would tell him to make Goku immortal. The dragon fulfilled his wish, and Goku got immortality. At that moment, Goku felt a strange sensation through his body. By that time, Goku had already passed a few days without eating, and it was affecting him a lot. But suddenly, those problems disappeared, because he started to feel as if he didn't need any of that. Goku did not understand what had happened to him, but it's obvious he would later realize it. 2 years would pass, in which Goku still felt nothing, and he understood that, somehow, they made him become immortal. 10 years passed, and Goku mastered and even perfected the Ultra Instinct. Outside the room, only 10 days would have passed. Vegeta said to himself, "Kakarot must be dead by now. In that place, a decade must have already passed." Inside the room, time would continue to pass as it had always used to be, and so 100 years would pass, in which Goku had already reached a new transformation and had a power that surpassed even the gods. Likewise, the power was enough to fight against an angel. At that moment, Goku's ambition and resentment was already so great that he could have used all his power to leave the room of time, but he chose not to, because he wanted even more power. By this time, Goku's way of thinking was already totally different, as he would have become a more serious and calculating person. Something in Goku was different. The naive Goku of before had disappeared. Now, not even Beerus himself will be able to cope with my power. Neither could Whis, and soon, I'll be more powerful than even Dai Shenkan, and I'll be the strongest being in the multiverse. Goku had more than 100 years inside the hyperbolic time chamber, and had reached a very powerful stage that surpasses all gods and angels. Goku would prefer to stay longer in that place, since he wanted to be superior to everyone, even superior to Dai Shenkan and Zeno-sama himself. Outside the room, after 100 days had passed on Earth, Bulma and the others assumed that Goku should have already died in that place, so they already accepted this fact, even though they had all loved Goku at the time, but they knew among themselves that accepting his death was something totally necessary. In the end, Goku was still a problem, and they resorted to the best way they could to hide it. In another place, Zeno-sama had been requesting Goku's presence for days to ask him for something and to play with him. Zeno-sama had not seen the Saiyan for a long time, so after all that time, he wanted to see him. Zeno-sama asked Daishinkan why Goku had not come if he had already asked him to visit. Daishinkan told Zeno-sama that he would take care of that. So Daishinkan went to Kaioshin of Universe 7 and asked him to see to it that Goku was at Zeno-sama's palace as soon as possible, because Zeno-sama wanted to see him. Kaioshin told Daishinkan that he would do so. However, Kaioshin did not know about what had been done to Goku by the destroyer god Beerus and the others, so after talking to Daishinkan, he went to his universe to warn Goku about Zeno-sama. Kaioshin tried to find Goku's ki to appear in front of him, but despite all of his efforts, he could not even feel a bit of Goku's energy. Why don't I feel Son Goku's energy? I've always felt it all the time, but now I try to look for his ki, it's impossible for me to find it. How strange. Did something happen to Goku? I'd better go to Earth and see where Goku is. After thinking about it, Kaioshin went to Earth in search of answers, so he went to Bulma, Vegeta, and the others to ask them where Goku was, because Zeno-sama requested his presence, and he might get angry. Vegeta was frightened by this, but Vegeta told Kaioshin, "If you ask about Kakarot, he recently went to train in the hyperbolic time chamber, because he said he wanted to become much stronger, and will be away for a while in that place," said Vegeta. After hearing this, Kaioshin understood why he did not feel Goku's ki, since Goku was in another dimension, and his capabilities did not reach that level, so he said to Vegeta, "Okay, I'll head to Kami's tower to go to that place. Zeno-sama can't wait." Vegeta was frightened by what Kaioshin said, because if he went to that place, he would notice the door to the hyperbolic time chamber had been destroyed, and would surely tell Daishinkan, who would then tell Zeno-sama, and Zeno-sama might get extremely angry. No, wait, don't bother him. He said not to interrupt him, no matter what was going on. You know Kakarot, he doesn't like to be disturbed while he's training, Vegeta said. Kaioshin found it very strange what Vegeta had told him. Alright, Vegeta, he said. Kaioshin said goodbye to everyone and teleported out of there. Vegeta, Bulma, and the others realized that Kaioshin would not listen to them, and that he would surely go to the hyperbolic time chamber to find Goku. So they had no choice but to bring Beerus to prevent Kaioshin from saying anything to Zeno-sama or Daishinkan. Meanwhile, Kaioshin arrived at Kami's tower, but found that the door to the hyperbolic time chamber was completely destroyed. He found that the attack that destroyed the door was made from the outside. But what happened to the entrance to the room? Did they purposefully destroy the entrance and exit of this place? What the heck happened? Wait, now I get it. That's why Vegeta sounds so nervous when I told him I was going to this place. He must have locked him in here. But why? I don't get it. Vegeta was very stupid by telling me about Goku being here. Maybe he didn't think I would come, but his assumptions were wrong. Kaioshin, after seeing this, tried to help Goku by telling Daishinkan about this, but before he could even move to leave the planet Earth, Beerus appeared in front of Kaioshin. Mr. Beerus, what are you doing here? Did you also come to visit Saiyan Goku? Wait, why are you looking at me like that? Don't tell me you're involved in all this. It's not possible, said Kaioshin. That's right, I've come here to prevent you from telling anyone else about this. If you do, you will pay dearly. I can't threaten you with death, because I depend on you to live, but I can do much worse things to you than death. So don't even think of saying a single word of this to anyone. You will simply tell Zeno-sama that Goku is training, and that he will soon visit him in his palace. Do you understand me? Kaioshin had no choice but to accept this. He went to Daishinkan and told him that Goku could not come to visit Zeno-sama because he was too busy training, but that soon he would come to visit him. Daishinkan told this to Zeno-sama, and Kaioshin of Universe 7 left the place without further ado. Thanks to this, those of Universe 7 were saved from suffering the wrath of Zeno-sama, which would surely have ended very badly. Zeno-sama, after what Daishinkan told him, preferred to wait for Goku to finish his training so as not to disturb him. Meanwhile, Goku in the hyperbolic time chamber would continue training non-stop. He would spend 1,000 years in that place. Goku already had a power that was practically unattainable, even for Zeno-sama himself. Goku's power was something unimaginable, even for the most powerful deities of the universe. By this time, Goku already had more than enough power to end the life of any being in existence. He had reached a state where what he had been 1,000 years ago no longer existed completely. Spending 1,000 years there without having contact with any individual caused him to have a much more independent and precise way of thinking. He would have learned and created many secret techniques that only he had. It had been long enough for Goku to feel like leaving there. Now my power is superior to any being in existence. They will pay for what they did to me. I will not forget it. I've been in this place for centuries, in complete solitude. But that's not made me forget the betrayal of the people who were supposed to be my friends. I see things differently now. I can't even trust myself. Why would I trust others? The only truth is that no matter what you do for them, they will only see the bad and negative side of things. Therefore, I will stand alone from now on, and he who wants to stand against my power will pay for it with his life. I've had enough of this place. It's not easy to look around you and see there's absolutely nothing, just empty space. Determined to leave, Goku began to increase his power more and more until... So, by increasing all his power, it only took him a few moments to make the whole room of time collapse and open infinite portals, which led to thousands of dimensions and different universes. The fact that there were so many dimensional and universal portals did not affect Goku at all, because thanks to that connection, he could feel the Kai of someone from his own universe in one of the portals for some reason. That ki was from Gohan, who was training with Goten, and Goten was increasing his power. Thanks to this, Goku would teleport to where Gohan and Goten were training. Goku appeared in front of Gohan, and he turned around and saw his father in front of him. This left Gohan speechless, and he would be very surprised to see all this, just like Goten. "Dad, you're alive! I didn't think you were. Even though I asked Shenlong to make you immortal, I didn't believe you were alive. How is it possible? It's been almost 4 years, and I haven't heard from you." "Wait, were you in there for 1,000 years?" asked Gohan. "It's been over 1,000 years, Gohan, since the last time I saw you. All that was an infinite eternity," said Goku. "But every one of those years and days I was inside that place, I always remembered how my own friends betrayed me. I wanted to destroy everything around me every time that thought came to my mind. I had given them my trust, my very life, and I only received a direct stab in the back. Because of that, every one of those who betrayed me will pay for it. First, I'll go after Vegeta. Let's see what that bastard has to say." "Father, what do you mean? Are you saying that Vegeta was the one who locked you in there?" "No, he couldn't have. Kai talked to me, and thanks to that, I was able to make you immortal with the Dragon Balls. He didn't want to tell me who the ones were that had done all this to you. I suspected everyone but Vegeta. Why would he do that? It doesn't make any sense. Why do it at that moment, if he could have done it much earlier?" "Gohan, what matters is that he betrayed me, and he will pay for that." "Father, don't do it. You don't deserve to do this. Please, I beg you, don't kill him. You already forgave him once. It wouldn't be that hard for you to do it again. Even though I hate him now for what he did, I don't think you should hurt Vegeta. Surely he must have had his reasons." "Shut up, Gohan. I don't care now what you tell me. I don't care what anyone tells me right now. In the end, everyone knows how to stab in the back and destroy my trust. I was also able to tell Kai, even though I was locked inside the room, and he told me who was behind all this." At that moment, Goku was about to go to Vegeta, but Gohan, in Super Saiyan mode, with all his might, tried to stop Goku from doing that. This made Goku angry. "I told you to stay out of it," said Goku. Goku easily brushed Gohan off, threw him against some rocks, and left, leaving Goten stunned by what he had just witnessed. "What happened to my father? He's not even a shadow of his former self. I don't recognize him now," said Gohan. Meanwhile, Goku quickly arrived at Vegeta, who was with Bulma. Goku appeared in front of Vegeta. Both Vegeta and Bulma could not believe what they were seeing. They thought it was someone with the same appearance as Goku, but realized later it was in fact the real Goku. "What? This is impossible. Kakarot should have died long ago in that place. How is it possible he's still alive? He must have run out of food there. And besides, 1,000 years have already passed. This can't be real. Are you really Kakarot? Why am I shaking? What's wrong with me? Vegeta, I've waited for this moment for a long time, said Goku. I spent all this time remembering over and over again what you did to me. I could never forget it. How could I? That was the reason I spent over 1,000 years in that disgusting place. I know who was involved in my imprisonment, and every one of them will pay for it. At that moment, Vegeta realized that Goku did not come with good intentions and told Bulma, "Get away from this place as fast as possible. Please, you don't belong here." Bulma ignored what Vegeta said, but she thought she could explain things to Goku and fix everything. This turned out to be a terrible mistake. Goku, far from even answering her, stared her in the eyes with a great fury and coldness that made Bulma understand that her words would not help at all. Goku was about to hit Bulma, but at that moment, Vegeta quickly stopped Goku. "I told you to get out of here, stupid. Don't you understand?" said Vegeta. Bulma, after seeing all this, listened to Vegeta and fled the scene, leaving Goku and Vegeta alone. "I won't let you do anything to her, Kakarot. What the hell is wrong with you? And how come you're still alive? You should have died a long time ago." "Vegeta, to your surprise, they made me immortal, so despite the time I spent inside that place, it didn't have any effect on me. And thanks to my immortality, I didn't need to consume food to survive either. But let me tell you, you were very stupid. Why would you lock me up and then allow them to make me immortal? You're an idiot, Vegeta. If you're going to betray me, at least do it right, you bastard." "But how? When did all that happen? Wait, don't tell me that was the reason Gohan was asking Bulma for the balls. We were so naive." "Vegeta, finally, after a long time, the time has come for you to pay for everything." "Kakarot, what are you saying? You don't have to do this. I only followed Beerus's orders, you must understand. If I didn't, he would destroy planet Earth, and you know that none of us would want that." "Damn, Vegeta, you should have discussed that with me first. Instead, you chose the easiest option, to betray me and lock me inside there so that I'd never come out. I know that all this, in principle, was planned by all the gods of destruction, and they too will get what they deserve later," said Goku. "Then I have no choice. I see, Kakarot, so you want to fight. I've also increased my power a lot, if you don't believe it. I'll take away that confidence from you, you damn insect." Vegeta was about to attack Goku, but he would stop instantly because he felt a deep fear. Out of nowhere, Vegeta began to sweat from fear. Vegeta did not understand what was happening. However, this was an involuntary reaction of his body towards the immeasurable power of the Saiyan. "What's wrong with me? Why am I so afraid? What's going on?"